Welcome to Carrot Meadow, where the grass is green, the bunnies are fluffy, and the economy is apparently sponsored by chaos. Because yesterday carrots were 2 gold coins, and today they're 3. And that one bunny over there is whispering, "I heard there'll be 5 by Friday." So what is inflation? Really? And why does it feel like my money shrinks every time I blink? Inflation, in simple meadow terms, is this: more money in the economy than stuff to spend it on. In other words, too many gold coins chasing too few carrots. The bunnies are us, consumers and workers. Carrots are everything we buy, goods and services, food, rent, haircuts, streaming subscriptions we forgot to cancel, and gold coins are the money supply. Now, off on the hill, watching the whole meadow like it's a puppet show, is the puppet master, the central bank. He can't magically grow more carrots overnight, but he can pull a few strings that change how fast the meadow heats up or cools down. Our story begins at the carrot market. At first, life is simple. Bunnies work, bunnies earn coins, bunnies buy carrots, everyone is mostly chill. Then one day, something changes. It starts with a parade, a big payday festival. Bunnies are jingling coin pouches like they're maracas, and suddenly everybody wants carrots right now. This is demand pull inflation. Demand pull inflation is when bunnies have extra coins, so they rush to buy carrots and they start competing. When Bunny says, "I'll pay 3 coins per carrot," another bunny says, "I'll pay 4," and a third bunny whispers, "I'm not even hungry. I'm just emotionally spending." Here's the key. The carrot supply didn't magically triple overnight. So if lots of bunnies show up with more coins, but there are still only so many carrots, prices rise. The farmer looks at the crowd and thinks, well, if they're offering more, I'll charge more. And just like that, the sign flips from 2 coins to 4. So demand pull inflation is basically too much spending power chasing limited stuff. But then, the second villain arrives. A storm. Dark clouds roll over the meadow. Rain floods the carrot fields, and the bridge labeled supply chain cracks in half like a dramatic movie scene. Now carrots aren't just in high demand. Carrots are harder to produce and deliver. That's cost push inflation. Cost push inflation is when the cost of making carrots goes up, so the farmer raises prices to survive. Maybe fertilizer got expensive, maybe fuel got expensive, maybe half the crop got wrecked by the storm. Either way, the farmer isn't raising prices because bunnies are partying. He's raising prices because his costs are pushing prices up from the supply side. So now, bunnies are facing higher prices from 2 directions: demand pull and cost push. And that's where the third villain sneaks in: built-in inflation, also known as the wage price spiral. The bunnies look at the new carrot prices and panic. They say, "We can't afford carrots anymore. We need more coins." So bunnies go to their bosses and ask for higher wages. And the bosses, trying to be fair, give the bunnies bigger coin pouches. The bunnies celebrate for exactly 1 afternoon, because then the farmer notices, the bunnies have more coins now. And the farmer is still dealing with storm damage and higher costs. So he raises carrot prices again. Then bunnies need higher wages again. Then prices rise again. Round and round it goes. It's like a treadmill, but you're also carrying groceries, and the treadmill is on a hill, and the hill is on fire. So, what does the puppet master do when the meadow starts overheating? He pulls the interest rate strings. Interest rates are basically the price of borrowing coins. When interest rates are low, borrowing is cheap, and bunnies can take loans for big purchases. When interest rates go up, borrowing gets expensive. So the puppet master raises rates to cool the meadow down. When borrowing costs more, fewer bunnies take out loans. Spending slows, the bidding wars calm down, and inflation pressure can ease. It's not magic. It's more like turning down the heat under a pot that's boiling over. Now, there's an extreme version of all this, a nightmare mode. Hyperinflation. Hyperinflation is when the meadow freaks out so hard that bunnies stop trusting coins at all. Prices rise so fast that bunnies think, if I save coins today, they'll be worth less tomorrow. So everyone tries to spend immediately. And when that happens, coins can become practically worthless. At that point, bunnies aren't saving coins. They're using coins as craft supplies, coin hats, coin table legs, coin wall art. In real history, countries like Venezuela and Hungary have experienced extreme inflation episodes where money lost value dramatically and daily life got chaotic. That's hyperinflation, when money stops feeling like money. But here's the twist. A little inflation is normal and even considered healthy. Many central banks aim for something like 2% inflation. Why? Because 2% is the Goldilocks zone. Not so cold that the meadow freezes and nobody invests or grows. Not so hot that prices sprint away from paychecks. Just enough to keep the meadow moving forward steadily. Okay, so what can bunnies do about inflation personally? Because if you just hide coins in your burrow, inflation quietly eats what those coins can buy over time. Your coin count stays the same, but your carrot buying power shrinks. That's why bunnies often try to protect their wealth by investing instead of just hoarding. Because investing is an attempt to help your coins grow faster than prices rise. Not financial advice, just the basic idea. Don't let your coins sit still while the price tags do cardio. Alright, quick 1-minute recap. Inflation is more money in the economy than stuff to spend it on. Too many gold coins chasing too few carrots. Demand pull inflation is when bunnies have extra coins and compete for limited carrots, pushing prices up. Cost push inflation is when storms or higher production costs make carrots more expensive to produce, pushing prices up from the supply side. Built-in inflation is the wage price spiral. Carrot prices rise, bunnies demand higher wages, more coins enter the system, and prices rise again. Interest rates are the puppet master's mainstream. Raising rates makes borrowing more expensive, slows spending, and calls inflation. Hyperinflation is the freak-out scenario where coins lose value fast and people stop trusting money, sometimes using it like craft material. And protection means you usually don't want to just bury coins and hope. Investing can help you keep up with inflation over time. And that's Inflation, Carrot Meadow Edition.